Good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday to you. Let's get started. Oh, look. It's the daily work assignment. Day 25, Monday, September 28th. My homeroom, you have art today. Going to keep that color coordinated key up there so you know exactly what each part of this is about, whether it's due today, tomorrow, for enrichment, or just for fun. We're going to complete our What is a Folktale book today, pages 22 through 29. What were the comparisons made between the folktales today that we read? And then we're going to be thinking about what type of folktale, fable, myth, or fairy tale are you going to create? You may also take a fable, a folktale, a myth, or fairy tale that already exists and switch it up some, or combine stories together. That's always fun. In fact, many different movies over the last couple decades have done that, including some of your favorites. Can't remember the title of it. Big green guy. Ogre with twisty ears. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Sustained self-directed reading. This week, you will be getting a book report form, which is not going to be due this week. It'll be due by the end of the following Monday, October 5th. And that will be about your fiction book that you've completed and a nonfiction book that you've completed. So in writing, what are you creating? A fable, folktale, myth, or fairy tale? So that ties directly into the reading that we're doing. So the writing and the reading kind of go hand in hand. You can't have reading without somebody writing it. And that's the way it is. Reading and writing go together like left hand and right hand. Spelling and vocabulary, you have your new words. And I trust that you are looking up the definitions in dictionary.com and that you are pasting your words into spellingtraining.com to practice the spellings. We will be watching a semicolon and colon movie today, an introductory video. And then I want you to do the following online work with the comma and semicolon. It's 10 questions, 10 sentences, and you have to choose which one is punctuated correctly with a semicolon and a colon. We've got a brand new editing topic today, the amazing internet. Yes, indeed, it is pretty amazing. You guys take it for granted, but boy, when it came along in the mid-90s and everybody jumped on by the late 90s and 2000s, it was pretty cool to go around the world and see things and to interact. Ancient Egypt, again, complete your 4 topics PowerPoint presentation this week in your small group. Place your group paragraph as the first slide. So your first slide is going to be that paragraph that introduces your 4 topics. That's why you created it. Divide up the 4 topics and collect as much information as you can among your group. The more you have, the better, because you can always cull it down. And you want to choose from the best. And you want to choose from your best drawings, pics, maps, and charts. We'll start sharing them on Wednesday. I know one group is finished, but they must be done by Friday so we can see them. So if you're ready early, you'll start on Wednesday, and we'll keep looking at them on Thursday and on Friday. And the last couple weeks of social studies will be about focusing on something other than ancient Egypt. We'll do a lot more geography, and we're going to do something concerning our own government and civics, how our government is set up. Geography, continue playing the geography games. And reminder, if you have not taken the continents and oceans test on quizzes yet, you got to do it, got to get it done. And since there is research going on already for ancient Egypt, the new topic across the district in our full-time gifted programs is research. So no new topic this week since we're doing research in ancient Egypt. However, at the end of this project, ancient Egypt. I will be reconfiguring into new small groups where you'll be researching a project with your new small group, a project that you will be able to choose. This is a really cool game. I'm going to pull this open today during our meeting so we can take a look at Mind Games. It's a great site with all kinds of wonderful games that make you think. And fun fact today, we'll also look at this day in history. Well, that's basically it for the daily work. But now I'm going to take a look at the Mackin VIA book, What is a Folktale? So let's open that up and get right to it. The Warrior and the Owl. This Tlingit story is about a warrior and his family who were starving. He comes from Alaska. By the way, the Tlingit people came from southeastern Alaska, and in this Alaskan folktale, the fish are used to show the Tlingit's family's ability to survive. At night alone, a warrior's wife used magic to catch fish to eat. One night, the warrior's mother caught the wife. She told her son what was happening. The next night, the warrior watched his wife. He remembered her spell and used it to catch fish. He shared the fish with his mother. His wife woke up and saw the meeting. She realized that they knew her secret. The wife ran away. She lost her magical powers and became smaller. Feathers sprouted from her arms and face. The warrior reached his wife and saw that she was an owl. She hooted and flew off. Woo, woo. The warrior was sad. He wanted only to show his wife how to be generous. Today, the cry of the owl hooting reminds people of the wife's selfishness. So she was so mad that somebody else knew the secret that she wanted all the fish for herself and her own family. So she became an owl. This folktale is a story that tries to explain the owl in nature and why it sounds so sad when it hoots. Selekana. This story comes from Botswana in Africa, southern Africa country. Girls were jealous of Selekana's beauty. They fooled her into throwing her jewelry into a pool for the river god. Selekana stood by the pool and cried out, "Show me my beads." The pool opened and Selekana found herself in a cave. She saw an old woman with one arm and one leg. Selekana felt sorry for the woman and did her chores. The woman rewarded Selekana by giving her jewelry and clothes. She helped Selekana escape from a cannibal that lived in the cave and showed her how to leave the pool. Selekana told the girls how she got her new jewelry. They went to the pool and met the old woman. They laughed at her and refused to help her. The old woman threatened to leave them with the cannibal. Afraid they promised never to be selfish or jealous again, the woman helped them escape. The girls realized how bad their behavior was, and they became kind, unselfish women. There are many different versions of this African folktale, but most include beads and jewelry. So often in a tale, the person that is generous, forgiving, kind, will often seem to be put upon at first, but then at the end, somehow they gain the prize, whether it's jewelry or wealth or marriage or power or whatever. Let's compare. The Warrior and the Owl in Selekana are about selfishness. In the Alaskan folktale, the warrior's young wife is selfish. She is discovered by both her mother-in-law and husband and loses her magical powers. The story ends unhappily as the wife turns into an owl. This folktale also tries to explain why an owl's hooting sounds so sad. Animals were very important, still are, in North or Native American culture, and many are shown in drawings and carvings. The girls who are jealous of Selekana trick her. When they hear of the riches she has gained, they are interested only in how they can also get jewelry from the old woman. Unlike Selekana, they feel nothing for the old woman, and they do not want to help her. However, unlike the wife in the Alaskan tale, they are given the chance to change their mean and selfish ways. So how do those two stories compare? And then finally, write your own folktale. And of course, I've already mentioned we're saying you do a fable, a myth, fairy tale. We'll be looking at what are myths tomorrow in our book. But essentially, a folktale is usually a lot shorter and a lot simpler story. Myths tend to be a lot more complex. So we'll be looking at myths tomorrow. We know what fables are. We've been sharing them. And a fairy tale always involves magic or magical beings. Always. That's why it's a fairy tale, because of magical fairies and elves and sorcerers or anything like that. Are you ready to write your own folktale? Here are some simple steps to help you start, and this could fit with any of the types: fables, myths, or fairy tales. Pick your setting. Think about where you want to set your folktale. For example, will it be in a dark, damp cave or high on a cliff top? It can even be inside of your a kitchen drawer where the knives and the cutlery and the knives and the spoons and the forks come alive and have a story about how they each think they are the most important piece of equipment in the kitchen. It just popped in my head. You can use it if you want to. If you want to write a Native American style folktale, why not base your characters on the creatures on a totem pole? Totem poles are awesome. You should look those up. Choose characters. Decide who your characters will be: the fork, the knife, the spoon. How might they behave? They may be people or creatures. Are they good or bad? Create a turning point. Many folktales have a turning point, such as discovering that someone acted wrongly. What will your folktale include? Research your folktale. Find out details about your theme so that you can use them in your folktale. Sketch your folktale. Make a map of your folktale. Give it a beginning, middle, and end. And write and rewrite. Write your tale, then read it through and change anything you do not like. In fact, of course, that's why you're in a classroom, so that you can share your rough drafts with us and we can tell you what you can do to make them even better. Okay, so stop the share there. I will see you soon for your Monday.